Hola, yuppie honeys! Hello, hello, good evening! How's everyone doing tonight? I'm a bit earlier than usual today, and let's not diddle-dally too much because I only have limited time to read today, as usual. Give me just a quick second. Yeah, there we go. I just needed to mute my own audio on YouTube, otherwise I would be hearing myself double, and we don't want that, especially when we want to hear the game audio, right? So without further ado, it's been a long time since I streamed, and today I decided to try streaming a little bit earlier than 8 p.m. So if there's nobody in the chat right now, or like very few people right now, no big deal. I expect people to come around at like 9 p.m. But you know, fuck time zones, I guess. And well, I really can't do much about having to go to bed at 10 p.m. It's outside my control. I'm sorry. And I can't do anything about the fact that my time zone makes it exceptionally hard for the majority of my streamers to catch where the heck, what the heck, when the heck I'm streaming, right? Okay. And I only started earlier today for Umineko just to test how it goes. I wanted to see if, like, you know, if we have a bit more time to read, because at 8 p.m. I felt like there was not enough time with that 10 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. cap limit. And yeah, you know, the reason why is because my boyfriend started going to school again, and he has to go to bed at like 10 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. at latest because he has to be up super early, and my workstation is in the bedroom. So I'm like, well, when he has to go to bed, I have to turn off the PC because he's not only super sensitive to light, he's super sensitive to audio as well. So when he goes to bed, I too have to go to bed. It's outside my control. Okay, but before I waste more time, very quickly before we start, I just wanted to do a very quick self-advertising session before I get to the recap and the reading, and that's going to be really quick, don't worry. First of all, what I wanted to say was, I feel, it's not that more like I feel like, but more like, people can't help it if they don't know, but for those who don't know, somehow, after these 2 years, I too am an artist, and if you are, and I strongly recommend you to follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to keep in touch with me. There will be a Discord server soon, so you will be able to enter there anyway to see the art. But if you are not following me on social media, you are missing out. You are missing out on a lot of stuff, such as you are missing out on stuff like this. Like this. See? So I strongly encourage you to follow me on at my Twitter, like at UPstar, and Instagram at the same username. Yeah, you should go here. Yeah, go to my social media. Go look at my art, goddammit. I'm not asking you, it's I'm pulling out the blinky. Go, just go there. Just go look at my my cool as shit art, okay? And come, because you will miss out on shit like this. I am the milkman. You will miss on shit like this. Do you not want to see more Umineko comics? Then come and follow me on social media. Anyway, sorry if that was kind of cringe. I'm just trying to do some self-advertisement as a freelancer, and also, by the way, If you want to see shorts and clips from now on, I'm going to start uploading them on this account on YouTube. So, yeah. All my shorts and clips will from now on be uploaded on this account on the UP Star Shorts, as well as potential clip compilations, and this channel right here where I'm streaming will become more of a VOD archive channel. Okay, so now that you know that, self-advertisement round over, and quick recap before we start reading, alrighty? So, first, hello Kumamaru, how you doing? I went on a tangent, good to see you. I'm happy you like the cute comics. It makes me very happy when people appreciate my art. Please beholden. If you are like, man, I want more Umineko content from Yuppie, then well, you will find it on my art accounts. Thus far, I haven't been drawing as much Umineko stuff yet because the majority of the people who follow me are not into Umineko. And you know, if you want to be a freelancer in the future and make money, you know, make a living off my stuff, unfortunately, I have to draw what performs best. And at the moment, it's Samurai Showdown shitposts. If you want more Umineko content from art from me, then you need to show it to me as well that it works. Got it? Okay. Sorry, that was another self-advertisement round. But okay, now for real, over with self-advertisement and to actual Umineko reading. Because I wasted like 20 minutes of time just now, but oh well. Alright, I don't remember 100% all that much what happened, and let me put OBS over on the other side so that we can see what the hecky is happening while I read. You gotta add the shorts channel to your descriptions about page. Yes, I will. Right after the stream, I will add it in there. I will also make like an announcement post on the Discord server and on social media, but otherwise that will be in the description. I will start adding it to the description of like videos as well from here, so you will see it. Okay, so let me try to jog my memory a little bit. So last episode, or more like last stream, Kanon and Shannon and Beato, like small Moe Beato, oh well, she's not very small, but you know, Moe Beato were up to some shenanigans. They seem to have entered the fighting ring and are just about to throw down with each other. Final destination, no items. Fox only? Do you think these people would play Fox? Erika would play Fox, wouldn't she? Oh well. Erika had returned to the room that had been given to her on the second floor of the guest house. The next room over was empty. It was very quiet there. Even pressing her ear against the wall wouldn't help her listen in on the voices in the cousin room. Even with hearing power boosted by the detective's authority, it would probably be impossible to make out anything. This room was the farthest down the hall, a long way away from the cousin room. Did she get a new room? It's like Butler is trying to single her out. I very much appreciate that Erika and Dranor are sharing a bedroom. Also, I was reading snippets of the Umineko manga, you know. I was reading some snippets of the Umineko manga because I was brain rotting over Bronove as usual. I almost said Bronove. God. But yeah, I tried to read bits and portions of the manga of like the parts and episodes I've read already, and not like from anything past episode 5. And I saw that in episode 5 there's like a panel where Erika and Dranor hold hands, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Also, I very much appreciate seeing them sharing a bedroom. I'll keep an eye out for it. YouTube search isn't finding it for me, and I don't want to rewind right now. Okay, yeah, it might be a YouTube algorithm thing because it's like a fresh account. Then let me write it. Star Shorts. Now I'm not sure if I can add. Let me just add that real quick then. Like I'm gonna add the pinned with the Shorts account and also with the I'm just gonna start shoving the stuff into people's faces because that's how you do self-advertisement, you know? Let me how can I pin this? Yes, there we go. It is pinned now. People are now obligated to see the fact that I'm forcing them to follow me on social media for art. You must, it's like the main thing. This whole time, Erika had been facing the desk and working on something. She was preparing some of those packing tape seals from before. Oh my god, it's coming back, the duct tape. She had asked Kumasawa for the stickiest tape in the place. She drew a complicated signature that could not be counterfeited across it with a permanent marker, then began making notches across it. This way, if she ever wanted to prove that some opening had remained closed, she could stick this tape over it, creating a powerful seal equal in strength to the Red Truth. These menacing seals had cornered Nazis so thoroughly in the previous game. Oh yeah, the game where you tried... They gave her a duct tape sprite! Amazing! Erika grimaced and showed the piece of packing tape she had torn off to Dranor. At a glance, Dranor couldn't tell what had annoyed Erika. However, as soon as she held it, she realized the difference right away. Maybe get some nails? You know, packing tape and nails? That could work. Even packing tape can be of low quality, and it sometimes gets weaker with age. Oh, I know that feel. I know that feel way too well. The tape Kumasawa had found was a bit too weak even for normal use. It wasn't nearly sticky enough to be used as a protective seal. Erika's like, curse him and his word of God bullshittery. Letting Erika get her hands on packing tape gave her a fatal weapon to use against witches. The previous game had proven this fact. And so Battle had removed that weapon from the entire mansion. Oh, don't pretend like you weren't having the time of your life doing that. Don't pretend. Erika tossed the packing tape aside carelessly and flopped spread eagled onto the bed. She looks pretty pissed. I mean, to be fair, as much as I don't like Erika, by no means when I say I don't like Erika, it means I don't like her personally, but I definitely recognize she is like a good character in terms of writing. I just don't vibe with her, but all that considered, she has... The one with the highest stake in this game is her, if you think about it, because Byrne told her if she doesn't win this time, she will like be cast to oblivion, and maybe that's a face worse than death. So like, girl is fighting for her life. Erika answered lazily, still looking up at the ceiling. That in itself was half an answer. The silence between the two was filled by the sound of the wind and rain. It was so quiet. But the sound of the ticking clock rang out clearly. Oh my god! I just realized the BGM track was on this whole time. Oh my god! No! Well, I gave Erika some background noise. And I also just realized the game volume wasn't on at all. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry. My bad. And I was like, I prepared everything perfectly for today's stream. And then I looked over just to see if everything was looking okay. And then I see BGM track was on and the desktop audio was off, and I was like, well shit, I should have voice acted in that part. Now you can listen to ominous music and Draenor and Erika talking. The previous section actually didn't have music, which is unfortunate. I wanted to imagine what Erika would have sounded like in this part with the music up with my my streaming music. Answer's probably no. Is the game volume fine, by the way? Can the chat hear? Maybe Erika was bored too, or perhaps the sound of the rain was making her sentimental. She agreed to listen to Draenor, which was very unlike her. Oh, that's why there wasn't any talking. Yeah, I could hear everything, and I wonder how it will look like for the chat. But thankfully, I realized it sooner than I thought. Can you imagine if I realized only like an hour in? She's petty. Yes. Yes, Erika. You were just being petty. Erika didn't need Draenor to tell her that it had been a childish fight. Stop saying that, you'll get me banned. The characters are quiet, but that may be just Nox. Okay, then let me turn up the volume a little bit higher then. Because normally I have it at like minus 30, 35-ish. There we go. I think this should be okay. I have it between minus 30 and minus 25. Oh wait, that's minus 30. Okay, there we go. I was just saying how it was nice for Draenor and Erika to share a room. You two held hands in the manga, please. Erika rolled over grumpily, turning her back to Dranor, so Dranor couldn't see her expression. Even so, for some reason she could guess that this completely unobserved expression was one of pain. Interpreting this to mean that Erika wanted her to go away, Dranor gave a bow and made to leave. Then Erika suddenly spoke. What up? The words seemed so utterly out of place that Dranor doubted her ears, and she had to ask Erika to say it again.
今、何とおっしゃいましたか? あなたのことが好きです。
Happy Pride Month? It really did seem utterly out of place. Dranor wanted to see what Erika really meant, but the latter still had her back turned and her face was out of sight.
ありがとうございます。
I literally just imagine Erika turning around her back to Dranor and she's like, by the way, I'm gay.
以前は別の子と付き合っていましたが、今は完全に切れています。
Oh! You had a partner!
周りの人たちは僕たちを妬んでありもしないことを言いますが、気にしないでください。
Okay. Okay.
俺は君に生涯のすべてを捧げるから、君も俺にすべてを捧げてほしい。二人で一緒に幸せになろう。
Happy Pride Month? Dranor avoided asking what she was talking about and stood there in silence. For a while, Erika kept on dully and emotionlessly repeating soppy phrases that might have popped up in some shoujo manga. Then, unexpectedly, she once again followed up with a complete non sequitur.
新しい財布。
Even Dranor is like, what? Of course, she had no idea what Erika was saying. But with her back still to Dranor, Erika kept on saying disconnected words.
趣味の合わないアロマオイル。演劇の先輩に借りたという趣味違いの音楽テープ。先輩の付き合いで断れなくて。
Okay.
急にバイトが入っちゃって、ダチの電話が長くてなかなか切れなくって。
Made too much curry. Went to theater practice more often. The way he folds paper towels. Thanks, I've already eaten. He knew more about cosmetics. Sorry, I was sleeping. The toilet seat was left down. He spent the night over at his stage friend's place. My acting friends had a party here earlier. Someone must have left it behind. The drain and sink were cleaned out. Receipts and point cards from places he never goes. The muddy soles of evidence that you went out on Sunday when it was raining. That matches a strange symbol on the calendar. None of your theater friends have hair this long. That's a leading question. How do you know the plot of a movie you haven't seen yet? Evidence. Evidence. Circumstantial evidence, observation, surveillance, tracking, tailing, information gathering, wiretapping, asking around, questioning. I found tons of evidence that I loved you. I found tons of evidence that you loved me. But I can't find any evidence that you haven't been cheating on me. Oh boy, give it a rest. If you love me, then trust me. If you can't do that, then you don't love me anymore. How could I love someone like that? I'll treasure you for all my life, and I want to do well in theater just as much. You said you liked seeing me act, right? So why are you telling me to stop acting now? Why do I have to choose between you and acting? What's wrong with you? I'm seriously worn out, okay? Come on, if all we do is fight when we see each other, maybe we both need some time to cool off, okay? I need to concentrate for my next performance anyway. This girl working with Senpai suddenly said she wouldn't be able to perform. I need to rewrite the script by tomorrow. I don't have time for this. And anyway, if you really find it hard to trust me... if you really find it that hard to trust me, we're through. Stay away. Just go home. Oh! Binge, I don't love you anymore. Don't cry, damn it. It's disgusting. Just, oh no, it's disgusting. Just die. Stop shouting, damn it. You're annoying the neighborhood. Just get the hell away from me and never come back. Oh my god. Oh boy. Is this Erika's ex telling her this or vice versa? Oh boy. Yeah, well, sucks. Really sucks. Boy, that sucks ass.
逆なんですよ。愛なんかあるからありもしないものが見えてしまう。
It's nothing more than an illusion, one that no one but you can see, and one that even you can never touch. Without love, humans would never need to sift through truth and lies. Because we can see things like that, we doubt. We suffer. We cry out loud. Oh jeez. That sucks.
私は今、幸せです。仮とはいえ、真実の魔女になれて。今の私は、もう、赤くない言葉に苦しめられなくて済むのだから。
Man, Erika, that's an oof. That's a big oof. My condolences on that part. You're still a little shit though. But at least, you know, I kind of get it. I understand.
あんたなら、私のエンドゲーム、どう返しますか？私ですか？あの凡庸な男じゃ、ゲームの相手は務まりませんでしたから、あんたなら、どう返してくれるかと思いまして。
Useless man. Lana was suddenly thrust in the position of Erika's opponent. In the Witch's game, she had once challenged that man to... Battler? From episode 5, you mean? Lana shared in the fragments of Erika's past and was made to grasp the full situation. The board was reproduced in full inside their heads. The situation was one-sided. Erika's side had constructed a blue truth based on countless bits of circumstantial evidence. Had turned all of those into pieces and was already cornering the opponent. For some time, Dranor thought in silence and announced her by-the-book response.
初手、私が浮気している証拠の提出を要求します。
Oh no, it's her ex. Oh.
青き真実で構築に状況証拠、物的証拠84点提出。
青き真実で反論。今も愛し続けている状況証拠、物的証拠を6点提出です。
グッド。青と青では相殺ですが、構築する駒の数が圧倒的ですね。
When both opponents meet with the blue truth, the decision is almost always based on which side has more pieces of evidence, regardless of the actual circumstances. This is especially true in the human world. So by the standard rules, Erika would win.
1点先取。
How old is Erika again? Because... I'm trying to remember. Let me see, because that actually interests me a little. Back. Here we are. Okay, it's not, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure they mentioned it, but they put her in the same age bracket as the kids, right? The children of the adults. I'm going to assume she's around the same age as Jessica and Battler, maybe a year or two younger. Because thing is,
次なる手は
I was about to say, like, if she was that young when she dated, holy shit. Holy shit. That's an even bigger oof to hear all that.
点を狙います。逆にエリカ卿が浮気をしていない証拠の提出を求めます。
パーペチュアルチェック。お互いが同じ質問を無限連鎖する千日手となりますから、禁じ手です。
Oh shit.
では証拠なくも現在もエリカ卿を愛していることを率直に表明します。
赤き真実でないから無効です。仮に赤かったとしてもそれ、私に反論する手がなくなりますから。
Oh man, she probably never will be over it. Draenor remained silent for a while. I mean, she doesn't have to be over it. That's very traumatizing to hear from your significant other. Draenor remained silent for a while. Then she quietly responded to Erika's moves until they reached checkmate. A stalemate is a forbidden move in the game of witches, since it means the ruin of the game. However, in chess it also represents a draw. Because of this, it's a splendid final move that a weaker player can pull off if they're unable to win outright. In this situation, Erika clearly had the advantage, so it was natural that Draenor would seek a stalemate to obtain a tie. Sorry. However, that would only be the case in chess. In the game where witches fight over the truth, it's a forbidden move. So it was already checkmate from the very beginning. Draenor had no way to turn the game around. However, regardless of what the real truth between the pair of them had been, this game would be...
他に手は？真実を守る魔女狩り大司教？
いえ。
The glass breaking sound makes it even more uncomfortable, definitely.
です。
ね、ほら。
Let me just check something. I wanted to check my own microphone volume to see if it's not going too far. It looks okay. I did test it before going live, but I'm always like kind of paranoid. Erika had succeeded in crushing her opponent with the truth she espoused, that her former boyfriend no longer loved her and was cheating on her. And that sucks to suffer through when you're so young. Her opponent had no way to argue back. After all, humans are not allowed to... To what? A splendid game, a splendid finish from a superior position. Regardless of the truth of her opponent, Erika could win. A splendid victory. Draenor could only respond with silence, and with that, Erika spoke no more. She was probably done talking and wanted Draenor to leave. Draenor understood this, but even so, before leaving, she wanted to tell Erika one thing.
見事なゲームです。エリカ卿。
探偵は勝利して当然ですから。
You didn't quite win last
あなた
time.
はベルンカステル卿の駒になる以前から実に見事な青き真実の使い手です。しかしエリカ卿、人間に許されるのは青き真実だけです。そして青き真実に反論できるのは赤き真実、そして赤き真実は人間には許されていません。ならばどうやってあなたのお相手は彼の真実を示せばよかったのですか？
さあ、赤き真実に時に勝るとかいう例の黄金の真実とやらでも持ち出したらどうですか？
ゲームは確かにエリカ卿の勝ちです。しかし真実の守護者として申し上げます。
なんです？どうせ不愉快なことでしょうから、それを言ったらとっとと消えてください。
はい、確かにこのゲームはエリカ卿の勝ちです。しかし私が示したあなたを今も愛している青き真実の証拠6点は未だ否定されていません。
Okay.
あなたさえ人間、それを否定する赤き真実を使えはしないのです。
探偵権限で84点の証拠を赤き真実に後に昇格させました。
Okay.
我が主のお力によって。
But you didn't call
私は
Burn.
人間にして人間を超えた存在、探偵にして魔女、真実の魔女フルドエリカです。他に質問は？捨て台詞は？
ありません。それでは失礼いたします。
Yippee, hello chat, happy time zone. Dang, I came in very late. No, hello Tsuki, how you doing? And you didn't come late. I actually started earlier. I started earlier to have more time to read. But I also realized this makes it a bit harder for others to come. I'm going to test some other time, other like streaming hours, and see if maybe mornings function better. I've noticed that a lot of people stay up late, so maybe I'll start testing some streams in the early morning and see how it goes. Ranor bowed and disappeared. After that, all that remained was a single witch of truth laughing off her bitter past with an equally bitter smile. Judging by the bedside clock, it was almost exactly midnight.
さて、一寝入りさせてもらえますか。いよいよ2日目。10月5日の幕開けです。今頃どこかで今回の殺人が起こっているんでしょうかね。今回の犠牲者さん、せいぜいいろいろなダイイングメッセージをよろしくお願いしますね。
So I'm going to assume that that past relationship is what made Erika as fucked up as she is. Which on one hand, oof, my condolences, and on the other hand, damn.
どうして母さんに相談しなかったの？あなたの人生を最後まで支えるパートナーの話なのよ。
You told her?
そうだよ。生涯一緒にいたい女性なんだ。
Wait, have we ever seen her
だから
reaction?
こそ真剣に決めなければいけないんでしょ。
Have we ever seen Eva react to
どう
George?
してそんな軽率に？
Eva and George could be seen beneath the eaves of the guest house. George had revealed his engagement to Shannon. Eva's anger had exploded almost instantly. This had been no more than George had expected, so he had responded with an ice-cold calm.
まさかもう関係を？子供ができたとか言われて結婚を迫られたんでしょ。
Hold.
失礼だな。僕は婚前の貞操は厳しくあるべき主義なんだ。
Sorry, I know this is a serious scene, but this really got me. The whole no smash before marriage, and before we are married, no smasher.
じゃあどうして婚約なんて。
Although this is the 80s, so different
僕は求めた。
perspectives.
彼女は受けた。
Plus, Shannon is very young.
それで成立じゃないか。
I mean, they have a bit bigger age difference, from what I understand.
違うわ。結婚はね、あんたが思ってるような漫画か何かみたいに簡単なものじゃないの。先方のご両親は、両家の交流は、あんた野良猫じゃないのよ。後ろ宮ジョージなのよ。どうして母さんに相談してくれなかったの？
Because you would have said no?
今こうして相談してるよ。いや、相談じゃないか。これはただの報告だね。おじい様の後継者に指名されるのは全く期待してないよ。いや、むしろ辞退したいくらいさ。僕は自分の国と城を父さんがそうしたように何もない原野に築き上げたい。
あのね、父さんが今日までどれくらいの苦労をしたのか分かってるの？あんたが真似てできるようなことじゃないの。今日までどれほどの運や偶然に助けられたことか。
そして母さんという良き理解者の伴侶がいたからだよ。さよは僕を支え、より強く生まれ変わらせてくれる人だ。
How old is Shannon? Do they have official ages for the character? I think Shannon was 16 or 17, or maybe she's like barely 18. I don't quite 100% remember. I do know that George is like the oldest of the group of children, right? He's like in his very early 20s, if I recall. 21, 22, I don't know.
母さんがたくましくなったと褒めてくれた今の僕は彼女がいなかったらありえない。
はあ、いいジョージ。とにかくここは一度母さんに任せなさい。頭を冷やしてよーく考えて。シャノンちゃんだけがあなたに好意を持ってるわけじゃないのよ。お見合いしたあゆみさんだってあなたのことをとても気に入ったそうよ。
First I've heard of
あ
it.
なたも分かってると思ってたのよ。先方のご両親も大変あなたのことを気に入ってるそうよ。もしあなたに父さんのように一国一城を築きたい夢があるなら、その手伝いができるのはあゆみさんの方でしょ。
I can't imagine she just picked now this Ayumi out just to like be like, hey, no, not Shannon, please at least take this girl. But that previously she was like, nah.
彼女の気持ちを裏切るの？
To be like
裏切
that.
るも何も僕はあゆみさんと特に交流があったわけじゃない。お見合いをしてその後親たちが勝手に盛り上がってるだけじゃないか。数度無理やり引き合わされたけど僕たちは互いに目さえ合わせちゃいない。
あゆみさんは育ちのいい奥ゆかしい女性でしょ。男性のジョージに目を合わせるなんて
Well bred.
恥ずかしいしぶしつけでできなかっただけよ。あなたが目を見て話してくれなきゃ気持ちが感じられないと言うなら彼女にそう注意するわ。きっとこれからはあなたの目を見て話してくれるはずよ。
I think she wasn't into it.
あゆみさんと結婚させたいのはそれが母さんにとって利するからさ。
Oh shit, he went straight to the
母
point.
さんの縁談には僕の気持ちがわずかほども含まれていない。
Yeah, she kind of wants to inherit like the Ushiromiya name, right? She wants to be the next successor. And because Kinzo wouldn't let her because he's a freaking misogynist. I mean, it's the 80s, I get it, but still, because Kinzo fucking sucks. He didn't let her be the successor, and now George is like her gateway to that, right?
ジョージ、
Oh man, that got the tears out.
どうしてそんなことを言うの？
Oh man, I think he hit the
母
bullseye.
さんがあなたのことを考えないことなんてあった？
In part, she did think about George and Hideyoshi. I do remember in episode 3 that she was thinking of Hideyoshi and George when she found the gold.
ないでしょ？
I mean, not just of those two, of course, he thought of herself as well, but, you know.
親という漢字はどういう字？
But I do think a lot of this comes from her projecting and shoving George to do the things that she wants.
木の上に立って見ると書いて親なのよ。母さんたちはね、あなたよりはるかに高みから人生の遠くまでを展望してるの。そしてあなたが若さゆえの一時の感情で間違った道へ進もうとしているのが見えているの。だからこうして憎まれることを承知で言ってるのよ。あんたがどうでもいい子だったらこんな喧嘩しないわ。どこの変な女とでも勝手に結婚しなさいって放っておいてるわよ。ねえジョージ、母さんに全て任せなさい。もうあなたはシャノンちゃんに会わなくていいわ。全部母さんたちで話をつけてあげる。
But also, this is where the problem is. She doesn't want to have George to have his agency.
大丈夫よ。
I mean, it's not that she doesn't want him to have it. We won't do anything bad to Shadon-chan. I'm sorry, after what I saw in episode 2, I don't know.
ジョージに成長のきっかけをくれた人だものね。ちゃんとそれに配慮してあげるから。だからあとはもう母さんたちに任せなさい、ジョージ。
Sometime during Eva's rage, tears had started to drip from her eyes. As though those tears had caused him to hesitate, George turned his back and sagged his shoulders. Even George is a child of man after all. Though he understands that marriage requires nothing more than the love of two people, he can't get over his desire for his parents' acceptance. And so he is trapped between the tears of the mother who has always helped him and the fiancé he chose. Or is he?
もうそろそろ。今日まで立派に育ててもらって本当に感謝してる。僕もこう思って親になったら母さんみたいな親になるよ。子供のために本当に戦える世界で一番尊敬できる親にね。
ジョージ。
With his back still towards her, George threw away his umbrella and slowly stepped out from beneath the eaves into the rain. Oh my god, it's so dramatic! Then he slowly turned around. He's dramatic. But look at him, he has so much determination. It was without a doubt the familiar face of Eva's beloved son. However, he was now his own man, self-controlled and independent enough that their blood connection might be forgotten.
もうそろそろいいと思う。
何が
小離れしてもいいんじゃないか母さん。
Damn!
ここからはもう親子の関係はなしで話そうじゃないか。
Oh my god! Are you cutting her off?
僕はジョージ、君はエヴァ。親だからどうこうというのは抜きにして、互いの立場から本音をぶつけようじゃないか。君が僕を望み通りの相手と結婚させたい理由は、それから未だいさかいのなくならないおじさんたちへの見栄。
Holy shit! He saw his mom crying and he pulled out the blinky, okay? He pulled out the blinky and was like, no.
それ以外に何もない。
I mean, he speaks the truth. He should. And I encourage him to do this, you know, because nobody should be like forced to do things that their parents try to force one to do. Even if they're like, but it's for your own good. Like, George knows what's up. He knows, and I'm glad he's putting his foot down.
いっそそれをすっきり認めてくれた方が潔いね。僕はこれから僕の立場だけで語るから。
I'm about
君もそうした方がいいんだ。
He's about to leave his tweet longer.
負けるよ、君。
No traces of love or respect for his mother remained in George's eyes. There was only a frigid glare as he gazed ruthlessly down at the witch who was trying to bind his future.
どうして母さんをそんな目で見るの。
This hurts, but oh well.
僕は母さんを見ていないからさ。僕の目に映っているのは僕の選び取ろうとする未来の前に立ちふさがる母さんだって人間だ。夢や野心があってそれを今も追い続けているの知ってる。
Yeah, dreams that she was completely fucked over by 80s sexist society, which
素
sucks,
晴らしいと思う。
and by an abusive father and siblings. And I think that's
自
a
分の夢
wonderful
を決し
thing.
て諦めないことの大変さを僕たちは知っているのだから。
So I'll need to inherit your wonderful strength. I've learned a lot from my parents, my friends, and Sayo, and I've grown.
その最後に学び、
I like that he sticks to calling Shannon by her real name now.
獲得して完成されるのが本当の後宮ジョージという男なんだ。僕は今あなたという最後の壁を越える。何？
What? Eva had disappeared. The pouring rain landed evenly across the ground everywhere. No, it was blocked every slightly in one place. However, there was no one there. Standing on the ground isn't the only way to block the path of the rain. Then, could it be? We're fighting Eva Beatrice now? What the fuck? We hit midnight and shit's going down already.
いいわよ。
のもたまにはいいじゃない。
It's been a while.
私も行っちゃうわ。だからあなたも行っちゃえば。
Let's go! I love this theme. In the rain-filled sky, when a moon that shouldn't have been visible behind her was the golden witch of the future who had finally obtained everything of the Ustromiya family. Even the drastic change in his mother's appearance didn't faze George. On the contrary, he seemed to be moved by her boldness, because his mother has honestly and fully displayed her true nature. This way, I can confidently show her my true self.
行くよ母さん。そしてエヴァ、これが僕の君の束縛から踏み出る最初の第一歩だ。
第一歩。
Let's go! With that first step, he felt something odd beneath his feet. He knew that this sticking sensation, different from that of mud, represented his mother's arrogance trying to prevent him from making that first step.
小さい頃、お話をたくさん読んであげたわね。あなたが大好きだった西遊記、覚えてる？
You read the Journey to the West?
懐かしいね。
It's nice.
多分僕が一番最初に愛したファンタジーだ。
Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, wanted to become a god and was tested by Buddha. If you can jump free from the palm of my hand, I will acknowledge your wish. Then Sun Wukong managed to reach what he thought was the end of the world and found 5 pillars standing there, only to discover that they were Buddha's fingers and that he still had left Buddha's hand.
僕が母さんから決別すると宣言した第一歩がそれだと言いたいわけだね。
I need to read Journey to the West sometime. The only influence I know from it is, Dragon Ball.
あなたの反抗も葛藤も苦悩も国旗もすべて私がすでに通ってきた道。あなたのその第一歩など私という人生に飲み込まれる程度。いつまで目を背けてるの？見ちゃえば足元。
What's happening to the feet? At George's feet, on the pitch black earth soaked by the pounding rain, was what appeared to be a slightly red sash that glowed ominously and blocked George's first step. It was deep, vicious, and it held George's foot in place. From Eva's perspective, as she gazed down from the sky, it looked like a vast red spiderweb that radiated out with George at the center.
そうさ。
Oh, the red spiderweb.
生まれた時から数々の習い事で縛り付けられ、あんたの野望のためだけに育てられてきた僕の姿さ。
いいえ、それは違うわ。なら分かるようにしてあげる。見せてあげる。そして悟っちゃえば。
The vast red spiderweb on the ground scooped up George as easily as scooping scum out of a pot. Then lifted him into the air like a deer caught in a web and swung him about. Laughing insanely, Eva was as innocent and cruel as a grade schooler happily swinging about a bag filled with her gym clothes. Oh, we have a CG! I haven't seen that CG before. Swing the boy!
さあ、思い出してごらんなさい。火曜日には何があったのか。
On Tuesdays, okay. You should watch the summarized version of overly sarcastic production since the book is so long. Also, the videos are fun as heck. Okay, I'll take a look at that sometime then. And there's a CG again that I couldn't see properly. But it looked great. I wanted to see it.
覚えてるさ、ピアノ教室だよ。
Oh, he played piano.
猫踏んじゃったを聞くと背中の毛が逆立つね。
Piano playing is not
幼稚
cringe.
園の頃はバイオリン教室だったわ。できる子はやってそうでしょ。あんた才能なさそうだったからね。途中でピアノに変えたけど。
Some music playing just to seem smart. Woo!
じゃあ水曜日は覚えてる？
覚えてるさ。進学塾の日だ。遠くて通うのが苦痛だった。
じゃあ木曜日は
Oh, that's a lot. Ouch.
補習塾だわ。暗記科目は苦手だったのよね。あなた応用はできるのに暗記は苦手な典型的なやればできる子だったわ。
痛烈だね。子供が三者面談って言われて一番イラつく言葉だよ。
馬を水場に連れて行くことはできるが水を飲ますことはできない。
I think my cat's trying to come in. What did I want to say again? Sorry. So basically what she did was brute force George to be smart, huh? Like, he wasn't good at it, so she brute forced everything. That's a big oof.
あなたのやる気を出して維持させるのが一番苦労したわ。
That Emma Beato is coming off! I love her voice actress, she's amazing at her role. For those who don't know, Eva Beato and Android 18 share the same voice actress. George was bound hand and foot by the bright red spider web, reduced to the witch's plaything. She innocently swung him around and smashed him about, all with an insane laugh. Again and again.
金曜日は覚えてる？
もちろんさ。ユニークな塾だね。親と一緒の塾なんていろいろな意味で窮屈だったよ。
A school where you go with your parents.
子に釣り竿を買うな。一緒に釣りに行け。
Oof.
母さんはイギリスの教育論が好きだね。
親にとっても辛い塾だったわね。
Eva does have a fascination for like furniture from the West and Western culture stuff, from what I recall. From episode 3, I think they mentioned that.
でもあれが一番あんたには効果的だったわ。高いお熱射、毎週金曜の夜を費やさなければならない面倒。でも一番効果があった。その時悟ったの。子供はね、親が見ていないと伸びないの。子が目なら親は太陽だわ。太陽なきし芽吹く草木も咲かせる花も存在しないの。
All this while she's swinging him around. Mask off. Owie! Still bound hand and foot, George was thrown, slammed, and smashed. Could do nothing. He was still like Sun Wukong, unable to leave the palm of his mother's hand. However, since he wouldn't surrender, he could still show resistance at any time.
じゃあ土曜日は
家庭教師が来てくれてたね。
向こうから来てくれるから楽だったでしょ。
聖域である自室に毎週他人を迎え入れるのは苦痛だったよ。先生が帰った後に残る汗の匂いが今でも思い出せるくらいに嫌だったね。
あなたに学習姿勢を叩き込んでくれる素晴らしい先生だったわよ。弁護士の相談費用並みのお月謝を払った甲斐が本当にあったわ。
Oh boy, if you can't even remember the smell, I'm sure the teacher was very bad. Like, boy, hold on. That's when the teacher came. Ah, the smell of sweat. Sorry, I misread that. Boy. But if you made him sweat, Jesus Christ, it must have been brutal.
そして迎える日曜日と塾の予定がない月曜日だけが僕の安息日だった。これは皮肉だね。火曜日から土曜日までの塾が 僕を押さえつけてきたのか。まさに僕は孫悟空だったわけだ。
I know he means to say Son Wukong, but I heard Son Goku, and the first thing I had in mind was, "Hi, I'm Goku. I'm a Saiyan from Earth."
そうね。私の手のひらから逃れたいなんて思い上がりは、お釈迦様にご行山で潰してもらうといいわ。
Son Wukong, who wanted to become a god, was crushed by the five mountains of water: fire, water, wood, metal, and earth, and sealed away. These are the 5 elements that the days of the week, Tuesday through Saturday, are named after in Japanese. Only now did George, who had always admired Son Wukong, recognize this the greatest of ironies. That is very ironic, actually. George will be like, no.
それは解放じゃないね。洗脳だ。
何も考えなくていいの。ママに全て任せちゃえば、私があなたの全てを決めてあげる。それがあなたにとって一番素晴らしい人生なのよ。
Yeah, but well, that's more like you're treating him as a doll.
世界で一番知的であなたのために全てを捧げてくれる女性を用意してあげる。全ての成功もそれに至る道も全てママが用意してあげるわ。そしてやがては後ろ宮家で最高の名誉である当主の後継者にあなたは指名されるの。それから初めてあなたは自分の人生を始めなさい。第一歩。せないでよ。あんたはね、まだ生まれてさいないのよ。
Then marrying Sharon will be being born.
あんたを捕らえる私の巣じゃないわ。あんたを慈しんで育む私の子宮の中なのよ。
And he's still being swung around. How you doing, George? How are we doing, fella? How are we doing, my guy? George was slammed against the ground over and over. It was a heartless atrocity, unlike anything one would expect a blood-related son to receive. However, in Eva's eyes, perhaps even this was a sign of love for her precious son. About that! The human-shaped lump of flesh wrapped in the red bag was slammed over and over, then thrown high into the air, where it was caught in a massive spiderweb in the sky, still covered with fresh blood. While he hung there as though crucified, George didn't even twitch, even if he had some power to resist remaining to him. The red web pinning him there would have held even that in check. The rain, which had been falling non-stop since the beginning, quietly tormented and pitied George.
ご行山に封じられてしばらく頭を冷やしなさい。彼女はジョージに青春と成長のきっかけを与えてくれた。とても良い。でも後先を考えない婚約は別の問題よ。相手が彼女だからいけないと言ってるわけじゃないの。それを分かりなさい。
Yeah, but you're probably still going to torment her, which sucks.
友を責めるな。行為を責めよ。
Blame the problem, not the peer.
これもイギリスの格言だ。
本当にあなたは賢い子に育ったわ。いいえ、育っているわ。私のお腹の中でね。もう少しじっくりと育ちなさい。さあ、お仕置きは終わりよ。
The spiderweb released George reluctantly. Then it threw him to the ground beneath the cloudy sky.
ありがとう、母さん。
It was all George could do to get up on his hands and knees. Though he wiped the mud away and stood his ground, he still couldn't raise his head.
全てが僕を思ってのことだったんだね。ありがとう。本当にありがとう。
However,
そうよ、今は憎いでしょ。でもいつかきっと感謝するわ。私がどれほどあなたを愛していたかをきっと理解する。
火曜日から土曜日までの連日の塾での縛り付
I
け
don't
も僕を立派な男に育てようという母さんの努力だったんだね。
これもイギリスの格言よ。
know. That's the kind of
子供を幸福で包むことが最高の教育。
I don't know about that. Like the way she talks, like smells way too hard in manipulation. I'm like, ever
ありが
no.
とう。だから僕からも母さんにイギリスの
何？
Oh my god, he's going to slam her, isn't she?
すべての木に斧を一撃ずつ加えても一本の木も切り倒せはしない。
何？それはどういう意味？
What if he
こっ
tells
ち
her?
の方がいいかな。学問に時間を費やしすぎることは怠惰に過ぎない。フランシス・ベーコン。
Francis Bacon, that's the name. The man drenched in mud and blood. I would have kind of liked it if he said for a previous proverb, like, aren't you a fan of British proverbs? Like, I don't have to explain it to you, do I? He straightened his crooked glasses and slowly stood up. Though he was covered in filth, his appearance had a divine quality to it. Something that could only appear on a self-controlled man, not one who had merely been dozing in his mother's amniotic fluid.
僕がさよから学んだことは数えきれない。僕は彼女の前で初めて勇気と男気と向上心とウィットとユーモアと
And just a little stylish!
ひょっぴり皮肉だね。今日母さんが僕を立派になったと認める要素のほぼすべて母さんの教育の賜物じゃないんだ。
Oh shit! We're going for the kill.
ジョージ、
She basically said, all the things that you did for me were useless.
あんたはまだそんなことを戻してあげるわ。母さんの子宮に。
You can't do
そし
that.
てもう一度暖かな海で育て直してあげる。
As Eva howled, a bright red spiderweb appeared at George's feet once more and tried to scoop him up into the air again. However, at that instant, a powerful magic circle could be seen in the area surrounding George for just a moment. Faster than he could be scooped up by the spiderweb, George jumped, and with a sharp kick of the heel and a magnificent forward flip, he cut the shackles of that spiderweb apart. Don't you love it when you argue with your mom and then you have to backflip and swipe a spiderweb? That, oh my god, but that's an amazing parent and son fight. That smooth movement proved that he had possessed the power to escape from those shackles all along. He had willingly allowed himself to be bound by that web.
母さんのこれまでの恩を一つずつ痛みで相殺させてもらったよ。おかげで僕も親離れがきっちりとできそうだ。必要だね。たまには親子喧嘩も。
ジョージ、私にどうしてそこまで逆らってあんな小娘と。
必要なのはやはり母さんの子離れのようだね。じゃあそろそろいいかな。
何がよ。
Uh-oh.
そろそろいいかな。反撃しても。
Time to start fighting back? With? The curtain of spiderwebs that ever shot out in the fence were all too slow. George threw them in one instant and the next, and he was right before her eyes. Like, he's so anime, I love it. Oh, such a nice CG. Eva jumped out of the way of a kick that would have knocked her feet out from under her. Then blocked in the second half of George's double roundhouse with a high kick of her own. Oh shit, let's go! Leg fight!
それは何曜日のかしら？
長期休暇のたびに集中的に習わされた 武道教室の数々だよ。
Maybe I should grab a screenshot of Sanji and Khalifa leg fighting and just put George's and Eva's faces on top for this episode's thumbnail.
嬉しいわジョージ。たった一つでも感謝してもらえるなんて母さんは嬉しいわ。
Eva's swift feet flashed like lightning. Low, 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 mid-level attack. As George's head fell forward, she caught it in both hands as though she was about to smash it against the ground. It was then met with Eva's knee as it rose like a bolt of lightning from the earth.
ムエタイも習えばよかったのに。ジョージも一緒に習えばもっと楽しかったわ。
そうだね。母さんと一緒に武道を学ぶ時が一番楽しかったよ。
Oh, they learn martial arts together?
なら今が一番楽しいんじゃない？
That's pretty hardcore, actually.
楽しいねジョージ。楽しいね。
You can
楽しいかい母さん。
Can you imagine adding the Dragon Ball sound effect when two people are fighting like that?
息子と遊ぶのは
楽しいわ。
Oh, she's having a blast. That's great.
あなたは私の最愛の息子。私のお腹の中で優しく愛してあげるわ。あなたがお腹を蹴るのさ、愛しい。
了解だ。だがその蹴りはお腹の外からになるけどね。
Owie! George's knee buried itself into Eva's abdomen. He gave her the falcon knee. The falcon knee. Like the air knee, you know? An instant before she felt the pain of that fierce attack, Eva watched her son's kick with a proud smile and then vomited. Woo! Woof!
母さんももう年なんだからいい加減そういう若い子向きの服は自重した方がいいんじゃないか。
ジョージ。
Her chin still covered in vomit, Eva looked up at George and twisted anguish. She could see how pathetic her face was by her reflection in his glasses.
母さんと僕一緒に子供時代とお別れしよう。さあ母さん。
Oh my god, that was pretty epic. That was pretty epic. I love it. If we can picture all the fights between the children and their parents like this, I'm in. I mean, technically we already saw this in episode 4 with like Maria and Rosa, right? But I don't even call that a fight like this one, you know? Because in Maria's case, it was more like her revenge fantasy playing in her mind, but not like her and Rosa fighting like vividly. They do fight, but it's a very one-sided fight if you think about it when it's Rosa and Maria, right? Like Maria's just a very small child and and Rosa is a full-on adult. But this is hilarious. I love this. Hilarious, epic, amazing, chef's kiss, Rikishi. Freaking never disappoint me. The fierce lightning and rain made time freeze. Yes, finally we get to George. See? George's beautiful kick had stopped an inch from Eva's chest. However, the power of the red magic circle surrounding George had already pierced Eva's body. Though he had stopped without hitting her, blood poured out of Eva's back. No wound had been left on her chest, but her heart had been punched through. Eva slumped backwards and landed in a puddle with a splash. There were no convulsions. Her life had been ended without leaving her even an instant to writhe about in pain.
その辺にいるんじゃないかい、ガブ。
Gapu? As he straightened his glasses, George spoke to the rose thicket behind him. Ma'am! Then a pitch black hole opened in the air there, and Gap jumped out.
大したもんね。
She was like, congratulations, you get to see my side booba.
あのエヴァ・ベアトリーチェを継承前とはいえ打ち倒すなんて。
Has anyone other than Anja managed to defeat Eva Beatrice?
やはりいたかい。
Also, thank you for the happiness of my effect on this area.
余計なちょっかいを出さなくてありがとう。親子水入らずで過ごせたよ。
まさかいなかったわよ。今あなたが私を召喚したんだわ。
Oh?
どっちでもいいさ。
It doesn't matter either way, huh?
君にお願いがあるんだ。
Well, he has the power to do
区
wizardry.
切りはあるの？
聞いてくれないのかい。
He's like, can you listen to something I have to say? And she's like, he's like, that wasn't a question. That's not a request. With his back still facing her, George reset his glasses. The threat in his voice held the sullen presence of a king who could control demons. That presence made Gab gulp, and she licked her lips before bowing respectfully to his back.
私はイケてる男が好きだけど王者はもっと好きだわ。何なりとお命じを魔王陛下。
Demon King! Oh man, George came full around since episode 4. That's so nice.
後ろ宮家の当主に憧れ、その夢と猛襲に生きた彼女の生きがふさわしい場所に安置してほしい。
じゃあ金蔵の書斎へ。
いや、貴賓室
The VIP room?
屋敷の2階のあの開かずの
Okay, fair enough.
あの部屋ね。了解したわ。
I was about to say that's a downgrade, but never mind. Actually, that's pretty nice. Gap approached Eva's corpse and lightly tapped the ground with her right heel. Clack, clack. When she did, a large hole opened up, swallowed both Gap, and the corpse closed. After a while, a small hole opened in the air, and the staff Eva always carried, marked with the one-winged eagle that symbolized Ushiromiya family's leader, was spat out into a puddle, because the corpse would no longer have any use for it. Is he going to take it? George slowly approached that staff. Take the staff! Take the staff! Take it! And stepped down hard on the tip. Ah, he broke it. He broke it. When he did, the staff spun violently into the air. Okay, never mind. He's getting it. And after passing by the blue moon that honored the Demon King, it flew into George's outstretched hand. Yes, he took it! Fuck yeah! Witch George, let's go! The instant he grasped it, another fierce lightning bolt landed nearby, and by the time the flash disappeared, the staff he held had become a spray of gold butterflies and vanished. That's such a cool image. That is such a cool imagery. I wish this was a CG. I really, really do. Fuck. Maybe I have to draw this then. Maybe I have to put my skills as an artist to use to draw this. It was as though George had crushed the staff out of existence. Oh, I think it's storming outside.
これで
Fitting.
僕はノルマクリアだ。
George, I only summoned Ronovan into real life. Please do not come into real life. Leave my leave my neighborhood. Take the thunder with you. Thank you.
次の人に番を譲るよ。
自分の母さんを。
Does this mean that Jessica has to fight Natsuhi or Kraus?
自分を世界で一番最初に愛してくれる人であり、そして一番最後に決別すべき人だ。それが家を出るということだよ。
Unless you are in a Latino household. In that case, you will never leave. Your mama will come after you.
これが僕が
Speaking from someone in a Latino
最後に戻る
household.
ために見せられる。
I mean, half Latino household.
ジョージ様。
あっぱれなり後ろ宮ジョージ。
They were all watching?
まずは見事であるぞ。
たとえゲーム上のこととはいえ、
Oh, so we're not going to see Shannon and Kanon and Jessica fight yet, I believe. We're going to see Jessica next, right? I hope.
自分の母親を殺す
I
のは
definitely need to change the thumbnail of this stream afterwards then, if it's possible. I really hope YouTube lets me update the thumbnail and the title, because the thumbnail that I'm using for this stream is too good not to use it for the right moment. Even though it was just within the game.
しかしそれが君たちの課す試練だと言うから僕は答えたよ。
He stared at the two demons. The demons looked at each other, then showed their surprise with their now familiar exaggerated gestures. I love them both so much already. Like, I already said this last time, I love them both. Like, the sprite usage, this is why I really love visual novels as a medium, okay? You can do so much with them in the form of literature, like, love it. And it's not even like super fancy, and yet it's still so...
そうだねフルフル、ジョージ君の決意は本物だ。どうやら僕は君を見誤っていたようだね。謝るよ、許してほしい。
George chose not to go along with this theatrical conversation. He just quietly looked down upon the game board. Found the piece representing his mother, which was right next to his, and tipped it over. He was like, I'm tired. This was the trial that Separ and Furfur had set for him. So that the love of the pair will stand true, offer up the life of one person by your own hands. It was similar to that trial during Beato's games, where they were given 3 options as a part of a test to select the next family head. However, a pair of lovers will never abandon each other's lives, so they were automatically left with the option of sacrificing the life of another instead. In fact, it was merciful that they only had to choose the life of one person other than themselves instead of all, and we all know George last time sacrificed everyone else for the sake of himself and Shannon. So 1 is easy mode for it, it's children mode for him, okay? And besides, it only meant taking those lives as pieces on the board. For the version of themselves to whom the game board was the only world, this was a tragic parricide. But to those who stood around the game board in this witch's smoking room, it was nothing more than a movement of the pieces representing George's will to overcome his parents. However, the fact remained that the demons had ordered them to take these lives, even if it was just within one of the endless fragment worlds. George appeared to have distanced himself from the events on the demon's game board, but Jessica still seemed to resist the idea of stealing another person's life, even if it was only their life as a piece on the game board. Oh, Jessica, you're going to struggle. Last time she said she's going to sacrifice her own life, and then she said she won't sacrifice anybody. I think Jessica is the one who's going to struggle the hardest. I can't imagine Chick Beato to struggle, but I think she'll struggle more in the sense of, I don't know who I should sacrifice kind of way. I do think she'd be hesitant to kill someone, but I do think Beato's struggle will struggle more in who do I even want to sacrifice? I don't know. The Beatrice that battled her son's desires would not be shaken by the likes of this, probably.
次は誰が試練に挑戦を？
Jessica?
誰でもいい。次なる犠牲者を選び出してほしい。
Oh, George has to pick.
誰でもいい。次なる挑戦者は名乗り出てほしい。
誰も名乗り出ないなら。
It's like, shut
僕
up.
の勝ちということだね。
He's like, shush, I'll pick. Shut up. George wants to wrap this up so quickly.
ならばおめでとう。
He...
後ろ宮ジョージ。
This man does not fuck around and I love it.
あなたとあなたの愛する人の恋の成就へ至る扉の鍵を。僕たちは今こそ授けん。
待てよ。
Oh my god, they were... George wasn't even trying to pick someone else who was like, no, just proclaim me the winner, bye. As the demons rightly the name George as the victor, they were interrupted by the challenger.
Jessica.
Like, you know, like George just won this trial, and he wanted to do the equivalent of when you are in a fighting game lobby playing with other people. You just win like a first to one, and just write GG and leave. Okay, so it's Jessica time. I'm definitely updating the thumbnail if I can. Oh, we got a little break, but I think reading on 7:30 p.m. was a good idea, because now we have time for another scene, and I'm not worrying like, oh no, I don't have enough time. I have roughly a bit over an hour, so I believe one more scene we can read just fine. As usual, this family's conference was getting bogged down. Everyone had decided to cool their heads for a moment, and a short break had been agreed upon. The four siblings could say whatever they wanted, but Natsu and Kirie, for example, were outsiders and found it difficult to speak freely in this sort of atmosphere. A conference where you aren't allowed to say what you want can be tiring even as you just sit there quietly. Even Kirie couldn't help letting out a deep sigh. Kirie is so smart, this is doing her dirty. This was the second floor hallway of the mansion. Rudolph had wanted to be alone during the break, so she had felt like doing the same. Anna drifted up the stairs to reach this place. Kirie's expression was less tightly controlled than when her husband was around. She wore a tired look that she didn't often show. Oh. She pressed her cheek against the cool window glass. I need to regain my spirit and support my husband, even if I'm not allowed to speak. That's the duty I've won.
But
Jessica. It's time for her trial. She suddenly sensed another person, turned around to look behind her, and saw Jessica standing at the other end of the hallway.
あら、ジェシカちゃんじゃない。ゲストハウスに行ったんじゃなかったの？
ちょっと本を取りに自分の部屋へ戻ってたんです。
そう、ゲストハウスに戻るところ？
はい、そうです。
嫌な雨ね。風はだいぶ強いのかしら。
今は比較的弱いみたいです。
As Kitty looked out the window, Jessica watched her back, looking agitated.
キリエおばさん、ごめんよ。運がなかったと思ってくれ。
What? You want to kill Kirie?
ゼトル、ジェシカの運命のルーレットはキリエを選んでしまったわ。
What?
どうするんだいジェシカ。
Why Kirie
ルーレット
though?
はキリエを選んだけど、それを拒否して再びルーレットを回すのも君の勝手さ。
Yeah, but
試練に捧げるのは誰の命でも問わないのだから。
I think this won't do, because think about it. George sacrificed Eva, like the hardest person to break out of. And Jessica needs to break out of Krause's and not to his grasp, most likely. So if you were to sacrifice Kirie, who has the least to do with her relationship with Kanon, I think it won't be like as strong of a trial as with George. Jessica wasn't like George. George had willingly chosen Eva to be his sacrifice, to signify his separation from his old life so that he could step into a new life married to Shannon. However, Jessica hadn't thought of any particular target, so she had left it up to the roulette of fate. There was no exaggeration. She had walked around at random, imposing a rule on herself that the first person she met would be chosen as her sacrifice. And so, the roulette of fate had brought her to Kirie. Oh my god, you're going to be so fucked by Kirie. I'm so sorry, Jessica. Of course, there was nothing forcing her to keep that rule. However, Jessica didn't want to break a rule she had once made. Even though she was participating in a demon's game, she still wanted to cling to this one last virtue. God, it's thundering outside, so it's like fitting. Right now, she could attack that unprotected back, but Jessica still wasn't able to fully resolve herself. Yeah, I don't think Jessica could fight Natsu or Kraus, which is unfortunate on one hand, but on the other hand, I wonder how they will like put Kirie with Jessica's trial.
どうしたの？何か私に話でも？
Noticing the strange distance Jessica was standing at, Kirie turned around. That unprotected back was already gone. Jessica realized that her hesitation had made her lose her own first chance. She had taken on this demon's game to prove her love for Kanon. However, would it really be okay to sell her soul to demons for the sake of love? She had energetically consented to this demon's game, not wanting to let George, who had already taken an open-minded view of the situation, get any more of a lead on her, but her heart still wasn't ready.
キリエおばさんにこんな質問まず
何？ジェシカちゃんが私に質問なんて珍しいわね。答えられるものだといいんだけれど。
実は私好きな人がいるんです。
あら、それは素敵ね。まさか恋の相談なの？
そんなところです。
Oh my god.
いいわよ。私でよければ力になるわ。
ありがとうございます。実はそれで
まだ片思いなの？
いえ、そこから両思いになりたてって感じのとこです。ただ結ばれるには試練があって。
I was just going to tell her, like, I have to kill someone to be together, and Kirie's like, well, that's easy, just pick someone you don't like. And she's like, but I don't dislike anyone in particular. Oh, fuck it, then just kill your grandpa, he's already, like, old. Jessica's like,
試練？何それ？
私たちともう一組の恋人たちがいて争わなくちゃならないんです。
Oh wait, maybe talking to Kirie is a good idea, because if there's someone who's most determined to be with their respective partner, it's Kirie. Remember, Kirie is the most jealous person in this whole cast, and I love her, by the way. Let her girl boss.
三角関係？
I love Kirie so freaking much, you have no idea.
それとも四角関係？複雑そうね。それで？
勝った方の恋人同士しかそういう複雑なことになってるんです。つまり
嫌な話ね。相手を踏み台にしてしかどちらも成就できない恋なのね。
はい、自分たちが結ばれれば相手が破綻します。
Wait a minute! Wait, maybe this is actually a good idea. You know, not only because Kirie is very determined to be with Rudolph, but if I don't know who here has been watching since the first episodes or remembers from episode 4. Remember how Kirie's sister said she had someone that she loved, and Kirie left the family to be with Rudolph, so she basically stepped on another pair to succeed with hers. This makes perfect sense for them to talk to each other then. Never mind, Ryukishi, I'm sorry to have doubted you. This was a fantastic choice. This was good fate.
質問の趣旨が大体分かったわ。こういうことでしょ？人は幸せになるためにどこまで他者を踏み台にすることが許されるのか。
Kirie's like, just fuck them over. It's alright. Yes, Kirie was very smart. She had already guessed the question that Jessica had wanted to ask the most.
戦わなければ自動的に相手が勝ってジェシカちゃんたちは負けになる。しかし戦って勝てば相手を破綻させることになる。どちらも嫌な話ね。でも聞くまでもなく答えは決まっているわ。
はい。
Kirie giggled. If she wasn't willing to stick to her love until the end, then that would show the limits of their relationship. If that were the case, she should just let the other pair of lovers win. However, if this was a love she couldn't abandon her chances at victory either. So she had no options other than to fight. In the end, Jessica's hesitation was caused by guilt over forcing the others to split apart as a result of her inevitable decision.
やっぱり私は甘えているでしょうか。
そうね、甘えてるわ。
And Kiria doesn't sugarcoat it. I like it.
自分たちが結ばれるために誰かを踏み台にするなんて、そんなの辛いです。
Oh, the music
じゃあ
stopped.
ジェシカちゃんは恋のお相手を諦める？
それは
断言するわ。その方が辛いわよ。地獄を這うことになる。生涯ね。
Yep. A hardness had entered Kiria's gaze. Kiria, who knows this hell better than anyone else.
私は6歳だったから当時は何もわからなかったけれど、遺
Speak
品の
it.
中にお母さんの手記があったわ。
それは日記のようなものか。
どちらかというと随想録ね。日記よりももっとアバウトなものよ。
So it was more like a vent notebook, like maybe journaling, basically.
亡くなってすぐにそれを見つけて読んだけど、その意味を理解できるようになるには長い時間と私の成長を待たなければならなかったわ。
Oh boy.
なるほど。キリエの夫婦仲についての悩みが記されていた。
Spill the beans. I want it.
あれは完全にお母さんの呪い帳よね。その中身は6歳の私がずっと漠然と感じていた疑問を次々に表解させてくれたわ。
Spill the tea. I want it. When I was 6, it seemed as though my parents were very close and had no problems. And though I thought it odd that Oni-chan lived separately, even though he was in our family, I accepted it as the way things were.
アスムのことは知らなかったのか。
I think not.
お兄ちゃんが誰もいない時に話してくれたような気がするけど、小学校前の私にそれが理解できるはずがない。だって写真すらない相手よ。お母さんはアスムさんの写った写真のすべてをお兄ちゃんに送って家の中には一切残さなかったそうだから。
Oh boy. To Anje and to Battler, who only rarely came home, Kiria's smile never faltered. If she hadn't written her thoughts in that notebook, Anje would probably never have known them. Since his school days, Rudolph had been particularly popular with girls, the typical playboy. Be bold, over the top, yet still just a little bit gentle towards women. He probably kept that formula for being popular with women inside his head. In their attempts to win in Rudolph's favor, several women tried various seductive tricks. Rudolph probably enjoyed that part the most. Since the beginning, love had been a game to Rudolph. He never thought of it as a trial and error process to find a single life partner. He would intentionally spark jealousy between women, lap up their compliments, and revel in the harem. He may be my father, but he was an awful man. Oh boy.
お父さんも同時に媚びへつらう女の子たちをきっと見下してもいたのね。そんな中に自分の価値観をしっかりと持ち知性を見せるお母さんは目立って見えた。
それすらもルドルフの目を引きたいキリエの知恵かもしれぬがな。
かもね。お母さんはいろいろな意味で頭が良かったから。
Like the other Shinomiya siblings, Rudolph had strong ambitions and lofty goals. Under the mottos of, if you can pull it off, you're golden, and as long as no one finds out. He would alternate between setting up businesses that were borderline swindles or illegal, then running away. I've heard that in his college years, he was already making use of that talent, thinking of shameless projects and cleverly making money through the panic selling of party tickets, so much so that he could brag about carrying a wallet full of 110,000 yen notes all the time. Many women fell for his charisma in being the man responsible for these radical projects, as well as his thick wallet and generosity. It would be a lie to say that Kiria was one of them. However, what made Kiria very different from the other women was that she could support Rudolph as a business partner, and that she is fine as... and a girl boss. Oh, we love Kiria in this camp. Rudolph made a large-scale party successful, unable to hide his laughter at this massive, easy profit. The women would surround him. Among them, only Kiria was calm and composed. She could point out several ways that income and expenditure could be improved upon, and could even lay out a proposal for a next project.
そうしてルドルフにパートナーとして次第に認められていくわけであるか。
But then...
男子厨房に入るべからずっていうように女もまた 財布に入るべからずって空気はあるわよね。女はおごられて当たり前。男の出す1万円札をどうやって捻出しているかは野暮だから聞かない、知らない、興味もない。
People who think like that, man, they probably have great lives, right? Wink, wink, wonk, wonk, sarcasm. I have a male wife, technically. My boyfriend cooks, and he cooks fantastically. Such a good cook he is. He cooks so well. He's going to make udon for me tomorrow.
男性的であったということだ。
So, the more a man is in the kitchen, the better he is. In my opinion, if he likes to cook. Rudolph noticed a true treasure in this part of Kiria. He knew exactly how much hard work it took to get just one of those 10,000 yen notes. So somewhere inside him, he had looked down upon those extravagant women who never even considered the efforts he had undertaken. Of all of them, only Kiria had possessed the same sharp financial intuition as Rudolph. Every time he thought of a new plan, he would talk to Kiria about it, work out the kinks, and make it succeed. In this way, Kiria steadily worked her way up until she was the #1 of Rudolph's large group of followers.
でもお母さんだって女。他の女たちにちやほやされてるお父さんを見て心が安らいでたかどうかは不確か
Yeah, no wonder she has that intense jealousy, right?
ナンバーワンよりオンリーワンの方が良いというもの。
そういうこと。お母さんはお父さんの右腕として活躍しながらもその陰では狡猾に他の女性を切り離していったわ。
She sabotaged them one by one. Holy
お
shit.
母さんの恋の成就はもはや時間の問題だった。
アスムはいつからいたのか。
So basically we can say that Kiria is kind of a yandere.
ルドルフさんの取り巻きの一人よ。
Groupies.
いいえ取り巻いてさえいなかった。ただのファンの一人だったわ。
話したことはあるんですか？
もちろん私は彼女のことをよく知ってるわ。
Oh, were you
ルドルフ
friends?
さんがアスムさんの名前さえ知らなかった一番最初からね。あの子もきっと頭のいい子だったの。狡猾だったの。私は頭の良さで目立とうとしたけど彼女は全くその逆で目立とうとしたの。
Oh, she tried to stand out by being as stupid as possible, like pretending to be stupid.
頭の悪さで？
Same thought, Jessica.
非語欲のかきたて方がうまいって意味よ。
Also, she was ultra
こ
moe.
びてイチャついてくる女たちの中で彼女の仕草の一つ一つが派手な女たちに触傷を起こしていたルドルフさんには目立って見えた。
Kiria still acknowledges the mistakes she made in letting Asumu and Rudolph get too close. Kiria had thought that taking the role of Rudolph's business partner meant she would have him all to herself. That might have been due to her pride, and it might have been her arrogance as she tried to eliminate the relationships between all the other girls and Rudolph. Perhaps she sometimes tried too hard as a business partner, putting too much pressure on him, regardless of the fact that it was justified. Bit by bit, Rudolph had started to need a woman who could stay quiet and soothe him, without making him think about anything complicated. That woman was Asumu.
私は冷酷で知的、合理的で経済的。カルネアデスの船板のような状況があったら躊躇なく相手を蹴落とすわ。そんなパートナーがあの人にはふさわしいと思っていたから。
However, though that ruthlessness had made her reliable on the business side of things, it might have disturbed Rudolph deeply outside of business. At some point, though, Rudolph still acknowledges Kiria's skill, he began to yearn for a quiet, warm acceptance. Asumu had satisfied all of those conditions, so she was his manic pixie moe dream girl. Like a soft woman, basically. She would never talk about anything complicated. Even if he did, she would just shake her head to say she didn't know. However, she would care more for him physically than anyone else, quietly putting a blanket on him and staying by his side until morning.
確かに私はビジネスのパートナーの座を手に入れた。
I think Kiria is seeing Asumu in a very vindictive light. I can't imagine that Asumu was actually a woman who genuinely liked Rudolph, you know?
しかしいつしか
And that's Kirie's like jealous way of saying that, oh, Asumu was playing it, she knowingly did it. Maybe that's true, but I can't imagine that Asumu really genuinely was a kind person.
ルドルフさんには
I mean,
心を
Battler
癒してくれる
absolutely loved her, so although that may be rose-tinted glasses as well, so I'm curious to hear.
私は愚かしくも知的を自称しながらそれに気づけずにいたわ。
それでルドルフおじさんはアスムおばさんと結婚を？
ええ、そうよ。取られた。
Oh boy, there she comes.
たくさんの女をはべらしていたもの。今さらどこの女と遊んでって情を移すような人じゃない。それにあの人にとって女なんて遊びでしかなかったもん。だからこそ私は体以外を武器に自分の存在を示していた。
You can hear like the venom starting to come out of Kirie's voice. I really like it.
女として
She's such a good voice actor, voice actress.
間もなく2人は解任するわ。アスムさんはそれをすぐにお父さんに打ち明けたけど、お母さんは逆だった。
身重になることがビジネスパートナーの座を揺るがすことになりかねないと恐れたのだ。
当時のお母さんは食が細くて体調不良とか当たり前だったみたいだから、解任に気づくのも随分遅れた。
気づいたのは
アスムさんとお父さんが電撃入籍をしてからよ。お母さんはその後に妊娠を知ってアスムさんやお父さんを揺さぶろうと随分暗躍したみたいだけど。
アスムさん、あんなにぼんやりしてそうなのにルドルフさんを加え込んだら話やしない。だから何ですか、どうぞお引き取りくださいですってよ。バス一つ乗るにも怖い怖いと縮こまってたあの小娘がね。あの時悟ったわ。
Okay, maybe.
本当に狡猾だったのは彼女だったってね。そうよ、乗り物恐怖症だってルドルフさんの気を引くための嘘だったよ。
Okay, I see.
ごめんなさい。
Wait, don't we have like a scene where like Rudolph is like, oh yeah, Asumu would always go like yeah and scream and cry when she was on a plane and a boat and oh boy.
こんな話を聞いてもつまらないわよね。
いえ、
せめて
That was the thing that Battler did in Inherit in Earnest though.
私の産む子だけでも認知させたかったわ。ルドルフさんもそのつもりはあったみたい。
Was?
病院もきっちり手配してくれたし、アスムさんの出産が近づいても海外しく私のところにも来てくれてたって。もはや向こうが本当の奥さんなのにね。ひどい人だわ、本当。
And yet, after that is a tale I can't bear even to tell. Both Asumu and I had the same delivery date, and yet her pregnancy had meant her marriage, where mine was completely meaningless. I swore to bring up my child well and have Rudolf-san acknowledge it. The fight between Asumu-san and me ended with my loss. However, I wasn't down for the count. If I could make my child excel far more than Asumu-san's, I could make it fully acknowledged by... If I could make it fully acknowledged by Rudolf-san, I would be rewarded. That's what I believed.
しかしキリエの子は死産だった。
Was it? Question mark?
ええ、アスムさんにはお兄ちゃんが生まれた。しかしお母さんからは誰も。お母さんのせめて第二夫人の座に残りたいという最後の希望は絶たれた。
Oh my gosh, I have this wild theory about Battler, but I won't spill it right now. Kirie had fallen from being his partner to being his second wife. And then, unable to give birth to the bond of a child, she stumbled down to being merely his mistress. I can't imagine how much she must have hated Asumu and that kid, Battler.
そんなのをお首にも出さず、お母さんはお兄ちゃんとも親しげに接してたわ。ショックだった。あの優しいお母さんがお兄ちゃんにそんな負の感情を持っていて、それを隠しおおせてたなんて。
According to episode 4, she does have a very slight fondness for him.
憎かったであろうな、バトラーが。
So I can imagine it's complicated.
でしょうね。もし死産がアスムさんで、お母さんの方がお兄ちゃんを出産していたなら、何か歴史は変わっていたかもしれない。もしもそうだったなら、自分と再婚するようなシナリオを描きたいと思ってたみたい。
それも随想録にか。
Pretty sure I know what the theory is because I had the exact same one in that moment. First, hi, I agree. How you doing? And secondly, yeah, my theory about whom Battler, what happened with Battler and the Kirin Asmu childbirth is a pretty wild one, but it's one that I still pretty strongly believe, so I'm curious. I'm curious if I'm actually correct on this.
だからこそそれは
I'll wait for them to drop the reveal, I guess. Or I'll spill the thoughts some other time.
涙で濡らしたシーツの端を噛みながらのお母さんの怨嗟。
後悔は一点だけ。
Which is?
解任ですか。
違う違う、私のおごりだけよ。ルドルフさんはもう私のものだから絶対安全。あんなアスムなんていう小娘に負けるわけがない。彼女がバスや飛行機でギャーギャーわめくとき、私はその手配と経費を適正に処理できた。だから私は一番ルドルフさんに信頼されているとおごり高ぶって。恋って育むって言うでしょ。
はい。
間違ってないわ。二人で水をやり世話をして育む、そして最後に結実するのが愛という実なの。知ってる？結実して終わりじゃないのよ。愛を収穫しなきゃ恋は成就したことにならないの。
収穫って？
それはジェシカちゃんが考えなさい。実らせても収穫しなきゃ傷んで腐ることもある。虫がたかることだってもちろんあるわ。いいえ、それどころか盗人が現れてもぎ取っていってしまうことさえね。
And that's how she learned to be very, very, very
ジェシカ
jealous.
ちゃんたち若い子の恋愛観は育むところで終わってる。それは甘いわ。愛を収穫しなきゃ恋は報われない。
愛を収穫。
だからいつ収穫しても自由なんていう先延ばしは盗人に機会を与えるだけ。苦労して育てたのが翌朝にもぎ取られてなくなっていたわ。昨日のうちにめんどくさがらずに収穫しておけばよかったと後悔する。辛いわね。その後悔は地獄を這うわ。
It will be hell and many, many, many years of hell, as Kiria has said in episode 3.
私はこう思う。その地獄が18年で終わったから。だからもう私は自分を間違えない。
18 years of hell is still a lot, though.
あの人は私のものよ。もう逃がさない。手放せない。そして主に感謝する。その機会を与えてくれて。絶対にあの人を諦めないという絶対の意志に奇跡が応えてくれた。
Burn and Lambda helped you? By now, Jessica was speechless and didn't even urge Kiria to continue. This true form of love that Kiria was telling her about, this very yandere form of love, was far, far more harsh than anything she had imagined.
今の私はルドルフさんを私のところにつなぎ止めるためなら、そしてルドルフさんの敵には一切容赦しない。あの人が望むならば私は人殺しさえも躊躇しないかもしれない。
Okay then!
18年目にしてようやくその決意を持ったからこそ、絶対の意志が奇跡を 私にもたらしてくれたんだわ。奇跡はね、それを自ら成し遂げられる者のところにしか現れない。
Is this like a year after Battle was born? Asuma's death had not been a murder of any sort. However, Kiria had constantly cursed her and hoped for her death. And finally, on the 18th year, she had built up the determination to kill her with her own hands. And she actually had gotten herself a blade to do the deed with. That was when the miracle had occurred.
アスムおばさんが亡くなったことが奇跡。
違うわ。そんなの全然奇跡じゃない。
It wasn't a miracle?
だって彼女が死ななければ私が殺していたもの。
So she's going to say she would have certainly died on that day, regardless if she passed away herself or I had killed her.
彼女は必ず死ぬ運命だった。奇跡なのは彼女が死んだにもかかわらず私が自らの手を汚さずに済んだ。この一点に尽きるのよ。
Man, I love it. I love Kirie. Until now, Kirie had never shown Jessica. No, she had never even shown Rudolph that glint in the deepest depth of her eyes. It told plainly and clearly that romance and love are not the sweet and fluffy candies that young girls imagine them to be. Jessica was overwhelmed by the pressure and stunned silent, and she had to acknowledge it. This was the power of will that could make love be realized, and it's the same power that you need to harness, Jessica. With the force of this willpower, Kiria had supported Rudolph as a wife, and it was the same as George's. He had already developed and proven that he had the willpower to oppose all the obstacles to love between different classes. Right now, Jessica could clearly understand. This was the magnitude of George's determination, which had allowed him to coldly carry out his part of the trial. Then, what about her? Did she really have the resolve to make her love with Canon bear fruit? And then to harvest that fruit? Well, Jessica, you have to kill.
ごめんなさい。軽いアドバイスのつもりが怖がらせすぎちゃったかしら。この天気のせいね。
Blame the weather for me telling you to kill someone if you want to make that love bear fruit.
加減を間違えちゃったわ。
She's like, it's okay, Jessica. Just unleash your Andera arc. Just kidding, hee hee. Kiria let a relaxed smile rise to her face. The tense atmosphere finally slackened. However, her words had been gouged into Jessica's heart.
ジェシカちゃんの恋がどんなものかはわからないけれど、ライバルがいて、お互いが譲れない状況ならばなおのこと、のんびりなんかしてられない。じゃないと私みたいになっちゃうわよ。女は恋のために人生で一度殺意を持つべきよ。世界中で母を名乗る全ての女がそうだったと断言できるわ。だってそうじゃない女は他の女に食い殺されて生涯を嫉妬と後悔の地獄で這い続けるのだから。私はその地獄に18年いた。あの地獄には今も大勢の女たちがいて死ぬまで出られないの。後悔する自分を自らの手で処刑しない限りね。
Like your sister?
なんていうか言葉も。
エールを送るつもりだったのに私ったら脅しすぎたわ。本当にごめんなさい。
No, I think you are the perfect person for Jessica to see right
恋愛
now.
なんてもっともっと気楽でいいのよ。
Kenneth?
恋愛なんて本当に火遊び。誰でも簡単に気軽に遊べちゃう。そして間違えて大やけどした時その傷が生涯残るんだけどね。
Regrets from love never fade. That was all that Kiria had been trying to communicate. It wasn't like Kiria to start telling stories from her past. Stories you would normally expect her to avoid instead of giving a brief answer. However, Kiria might have thought Jessica deserved to hear. Jessica had timidly brought up the subject of love. Perhaps Kiria had opened up and told everything because she had seen the fires of Jessica's determination in her eyes. She's like, do it, Jessica. Pull the
じゃ
trigger.
あ
Pull the
私は
trigger.
そろそろ戻るわね。今の話私たちだけの内緒よ。
With a mysterious smile on her face, Kiria turned around. And now Jessica's going to be like...
脅しすぎちゃったかしら。
Jessica's like, hold on, I'm going to kill you.
でも脅されて知る地獄の方が100倍いい。そこに落ちた時はもう手遅れなのだから。頑張ってね、ジェシカちゃん。ややこしそうな恋だけど負けないでね。たまには人生の先輩らしく振る舞えたかしら。ん？何？ジェシカちゃん。
Oh, she's going to... Oh, God! A windstorm grazed Kiria's head. Oh, shit! She is in for the kill. It had been a hair's breadth away. If Kiria hadn't twisted her body slightly, that fist would probably be buried in her face by now. A bitter smile rose to Jessica's face when she saw that her first strike had failed to land a kill.
言っとくけど、卑怯者だから不意打ちをしたわけじゃねえんだぜ。わけのわからないうちに一撃で、痛みさえ理解できないうちに終わらせようとしたのに。
It's time to throw down!
嫉妬の地獄で生きてきたって。刺されそうになったことの2度や3度あるんだから。わかるのよ。不意打ちの直前の雰囲気が。
気配で分かったとでも？
それプラス一番最初の嘘かしら。
Oh, she's very attentive,
だ
huh?
ってゲストハウスから来てジェシカちゃんの部屋で本を取って帰ろうとしたら、ここでこの向きでは出会わないもの。あなたがその嘘をつく必要性についてチェス盤理論で想定した7つの最悪のものがこれだったわ。
Oh, she thought everything through. I'm telling you, Kiria is super smart. Oh my god, are we here in Prison Strip? It has been so many years, not so many years. So many chapters since we last heard this. Let's fucking go. Telling a hasty lie to Kiria would only put her on her guard. If Jessica hadn't told that lie, her surprise attack would have succeeded.
やるね。さすがキリエおばさんだぜ。
どうして？あなたは最初から私を殺すつもりだったの？
誰でもよかった。
最悪だわ。
キリエおばさんの話のおかげで吹っ切れた。感謝するぜ。
See, I told you she was the perfect person to meet. Kiria dodged the punch, placed her hand against that fist, and slammed it against the wall. Normally, Jessica would have hurt her hand on the wall and rolled around clutching at it in pain. But Jessica's fist had left what looked like a meter-wide crater in the wall. She's gone anime. Look at her! Instead of wearing a look of anguish, Jessica clicked her tongue in irritation at having missed. She has gone full shonen villain. I love it. Girl bosses. We love girl bosses.
ボクシングでも始めたの？
Impossible. Jessica is barehanded. She isn't holding any sort of weapon at all.
抵抗しないで、おばさん。頭一発。痛みなんか感じさせない。
Kiria tried to look confident, but she couldn't hide her confusion at this unreal destructive force. If that punch had hit, her head probably would have split open like Jessica had said, killing her without any pain. Jesus fucking Christ! We had like this one cinematic clip in Yakuza 0 where like Awano and Majima are fighting each other, and Awano punches the wall and it makes a crater. It's literally the same thing that's happening here.
行くぜ。
If Kiria's kick off the ground and backward leap had been an instant slower, her gut would probably have been pulverized. Though she had avoided it by a hair, Jessica's left body blow was followed by a terrible burst of wind, like an explosion which blew Kiria back. I don't want Kiria to die though. This Jessica looked like the normal Jessica, but something was different. It wasn't human, and common sense didn't apply to it. This had to be some kind of nightmare. Kiria slowly stood up. Then she looked at Jessica, noticed the several meters between them, and realized just how far that blast of wind had sent her flying.
恨んでくれていいぜ。でも私もキリエおばさんが言うようにいけないんだ。私も自分を 中途半端には終わらせられねえんだ。あなたは何を言ってる？ねえ、何を言ってるの？何なのよこれは一体。誰か教えて。
Oh man. Sucks to be Kiria. The scene around Jessica seemed to bend like a heat wave. It seemed to be enshrouding her fists, and it seemed as though something like a red magic circle had appeared beneath her feet. It looked just like a Western demon standing amidst the flames of hell. Flame upgrades! We have a super install! Jesus, 3 installs at once. Christ, how much bar did that cost? Each time Jessica muttered, her fists were surrounded by pulsating, sinister red light. Red light! Oh. Those fists, which were actually smoking, surely represented the iron hammers of hell wielded by demons. Kiria dashed away with lightning speed. Yes, right now that was her best option. Fortunately, she was smart enough to realize that pinching her cheek wasn't the best way to wake up from his nightmare. No, don't do this to me! No! What did he do? Where is he? Where is he? Jessica muttered once more, a blood-red magical berry cut across the corridor. Kiria slammed into it hard and realized that her path of escape had been cut off. She slammed full in like donk. Where is he? Man, this sucks for Kiria so bad.
ああ、悪夢だぜ。それが望みならすぐに覚まさせてやるよ。一撃さ。動かないで。
Wielding her flames, Jessica slowly stepped forward. I can't even read! Jessica slowly stepped forward towards her. Each time her foot lifted off the floor, a scorching steam hung around her footprint. This was a true nightmare. Kiria clutched her head in her hand, shaking it over and over again. I didn't want Kiria to go out like this! To think that Kiria wouldn't fight back.
悪夢さ。認めるわ。これは悪夢だと認める。だから覚ましてやるぜ。一撃でな。
Okay, that's pretty scary. Leviathan! Jessica's neck was twisted at an odd angle, and she staggered backwards, her eyes wide as though she didn't have a clue what had just happened. Is Leviathan protecting Kiria? In her forehead, a demon stake was buried at an angle. It pulled itself out of her, spun around, then became Leviathan and landed. The hole left behind in Jessica's head spewed blood. Envy! Oh shit! I knew she would fight back! Even though she had taken a deep gouge to the top of the head, Jessica stood there, convulsing and wide-eyed, and didn't fall over. The blood stopped pouring out of her forehead, and her blank, doll-like eyes returned. Then she slowly pressed her own hand against the wound in her forehead. There was a sizzle, as though she had pressed a hot iron against it. It was easy to tell that she was doing this to seal up the wound. If Kiria didn't escape now, there would never be another chance. Did Ronomi make her immortal?
それは愛ゆえにだから不死身なのさ。
Okay, because of those two.
愛よ偉大なれ。我らの祝福する者に不死身あれ。
Oh shit,
この
that's
赤い
OP.
魔法の壁は破れる。ロノエ様も大悪魔。私じゃ無理よ。
Where is he?
窓から逃げられる。窓もとっくにロノエ様の結界で塞がれてるわ。すごいわね。恋のために悪魔に魂を売ったわけかしら。
Well, you encourage her to do so.
よくもあんな大悪魔たちとこんなにも契約が妬ましい。
装甲不全属総合
All attribute
攻
defense.
撃反応装甲不
Jesus, are we in a fighting game? In response to these words, this time her entire body pulsated with a red light. She had upgraded herself with a defensive power that would prevent the violence attack from working again.
あいつ何を言ってる。自己増強。
Kirya's like, what the fuck is this shit? Get me out of this.
今のあいつは私に二度と貫かせない防御力を持ち。
She wants to wake up next to Rudolph and be like, man, Rudolph, I just had the weirdest fucking nightmare.
その上攻撃者にダメージ反射する力まで持ってる。
Like Jessica was saying some weird fighting game shit, you know, like I don't know, what's it called? The Street Fighters?
もう人間じゃないわ。化け物よ。
We love and appreciate Monster Jessica though, let's go.
さっきと大して変わってないの？そうとも言う？最初の時点から勝ち目がないことに何の変化もないわ。
I love Kirya's quip.
痛かったでも効かない
Jessica slowly lifted the hand that had been covering her forehead, and there was no longer any hole there. The hall was cut off by barriers on both sides, and even the windows were sealed. There was no way out.
そこの部屋の扉封印されてる。ただの施錠だわ。でもただの部屋よ。窓はあるけれどすでに封印されてるわ。つまり密室。私たちの棺桶ってわけ。棺桶？上等だわ。鍵を開けて。妬ましいわ。あんたにしか開けられないなって。
Oh? Leviathan's stake flew about at high speeds, ramming itself into the keyhole on that room. The tip of the stake had become a key. As soon as it was unlocked, the door flew open. Both of them fell into the room and quickly locked it. This was probably Krause's study. Its soothing furnishing brought about a sense of nobility that Krause would probably like.
正常なんかしてもあいつは扉を一撃で打ち砕けるわ。キリエは自分で自分の棺桶の蓋を閉じただけよ。でもね、棺桶の中で私たちにとどめを食らわせたかったら蓋を開けなければならない。
She's buying time. She's doing her best. She's very smart. With dim eyes, Jessica tilted her head upon hearing Kirya's words.
何を言ってんの。その小さな部屋がどうしておばさんを守ってくれると。
確かにこの部屋は密室だが私たちの退路がない。でもね、あなただってこの部屋には侵入できない。それが密室というもの。
何を言ってる。そんなちっぽけな部屋にこんなちっぽけな扉一枚でどうして私から逃れたつもり。
Jessica warily looked between her own burning fists and the door with a confused expression on her face. Then, slowly, she sent that pulsating red light to her fists. She repeatedly enchanted her fists to give them the destructive power for the killing blow.
こんな扉粉々にしてやる。
Oops. Sorry?
できるならね、やってごらんなさい。
After sealing the door and calmly saying those words, Kirya placed a single index finger to the door. Jessica slowly raised her fire breath demon's fists.
さよならキリエおばさん。
Oh shit, what's happening? Whoops. Sorry. All the windows went into, Okay, there we are. My co-computer did a thing. Jessica still slammed into the door in slow motion. It was like the decisive scene in a movie was being acted out. However, this was not an act. This was no act. Jessica's fists were really were slowing down as though they were being sucked in, like a spoon sinks through a jar of honey. That punch was no longer a punch. It was no more than a knock.
嫉妬するのよ、あなたの嫉妬。私は恋に対する甘えと傲慢から18年。だからあなたが妬ましいの。あなたは私の忠告を受けて恋を成就させて美しい人生を歩むでしょうね。ああ、妬ましいわ。女の一番美しい時間をあなたは私よりも18年も長く過ごせる。ああ、妬ましい。
Oh, she's using the power of envy to slow her down. This is so smart. Kiria, you genius. Jessica tried to slam her fist against the door over and over again. However, as soon as her fist approached it, its speed plummeted. She could barely knock, much less smash the door. Speed of sound upgrade?
無駄よ、お嬢ちゃん。砕けろ。
With full speed upgrades, Jessica's fist moved at the speed of sound, 1,225 kilometers per hour. However, how long had Jessica been in envy to gain that speed? She had started to envy George and Shannon's relationship about 2 years ago? 2 times 365 means 373 days. 373 times 24 means 17,520 hours. However, she wasn't envious all the time. It only happened when Shannon started going out on about George. With Shannon's shift on about 3 days of the week, divided 7 times 3. It wasn't as though she would go on about George all day long. The fond words of him would only leave a mark on Jessica for about an hour, right? So only for 1/24th of each. 1700,520 divided by 7 times 3 divided by 24, 312, removing the fraction apart. Fuck, we're pulling algebra out for this, or whatever it's called. Math? Genius math for this. The number of hours that Kia had been jealous was 157,680. In other words, this wasn't even 0.2% of the time Kiria had been jealous. Even 1,225 kilometers per hour, the speed of sound becomes only 2.545 kilometers per hour in the one in the 500th world. 1/500th world?
あなた、恋も嫉妬も足りないわ。
Even if she increased the speed of her fist, in Kiria's world, Jessica couldn't make it any faster than a walking child. Jessica grounded her teeth, her fist still pressed against the door. If someone could have seen this from both sides of the door, it would have looked as though Kiria was holding it shut with a single finger.
ねえ、この部屋は密室でしょ。ジェシカちゃんはせいぜいノックをすることはできるけど、中の私たちには指一
He's here! Yes!
何それ。
I'm very happy.
こうなるとこの密室、ちと厄介ですが、密室殺人を行うのは
It's so unfortunate I don't have a 3D model so that you can see my hands flying to my face and me jiggling around.
それが行えるのは魔法だけです。ジェシカ様が真に魔法を理解されない限り打ち破れますが。
もはやジェシカちゃんに私を詰めることはできない。やがて時間は進み、私がいつまでも戻らないことに気づいた親族たちが、そしてあなたは観測され、魔女も魔法も観測されたら消える。悪夢の時間はもう終わりよ、お嬢ちゃん。
Oh shit, it's thundering pretty hard outside.
おやジェシカがいきなり脱落なんてびっくりだよ。
どうか頑張って愛しのカノンのためにも。
さあジェシカ、愛を信じてどうか奇跡を見せておくれ。
訂正するわ。時間の経過を待つ必要さえない。だってここに内線電話があるんだもん。もちろん断線なんかしてないわ。
Yet.
私はこの受話器を取る。これが私のチェッ
Oh,
クメイト。
I wonder, is Jessica going to exploit something like she stopped being jealous for a split second to kill her?
構築完了。
Construction completed.
殺人。
What?
おや
I'm sorry?
有効ですな。
The runaway is like, looks legit.
浸透付与。打撃伝達。間接攻撃力付与。
Are we bringing out the chesters? Jessica's fist, which was pressed against the door, glowed red and then white hot. Oh no! That music is bad. Jessica didn't even swing her fist, just kept it pressed against the door. However, Jessica's murder extended within the closed room. Through the crack in the door, through the keyhole, burst the flames of hell. Jessica couldn't see what was happening inside the room. However, even here, on the other side of the door, she could tell that the flames of hell had swallowed the entire room. How? Oh my god! You're burning her alive? Yikes! Kiria smoldering death throes could be heard from across the door. Jessica clearly heard as Kiria danced the dance of death amidst the hellfire. Oh my god. Ooh, oof, oof, that... Ooh, that burns. Fell to her knees and slumped over to the floor. Slowly, Jessica tore her burning fist away from the door. If you love the hell of envy so much, then oh shit! Jesus! Damn, Jessica, we're girl bossing.
だがそれは誇るもんじゃねえし義務でもねえ。やっぱりあんたおごってたぜキリエおばさん。
She really pulled the Uno reverse card like, you wanna be jealous?
見事な密室殺人。
She was like, you wanna be jealous? Here. Yay. Here him is. That's always my default reaction to seeing Ronove. I'm so sorry. I'm like the biggest Ronove simp in history. I don't think there's anyone out there who simps Ronove as hard as I do.
後片付けを頼むぜ。
And literally the basis of me simping him is like, well, he looks like my boyfriend, but in anime edition.
やがて見つかる遺体が黒焦げじゃあまりに申し訳がない。
Actually, someone... Nah. You know what? I'll take the title.
綺麗にしてやってくれるか。
かしこまりました、お嬢様。
He's going to bring out the vacuum cleaner, the broom. Ronove transformed into a gold butterfly and entered Krause's study through the keyhole. Then he had to cross his arms and think about how he should even start clearing up Kiria's unrecognizable corpse and this room that had ended up as a burning hell. Damn, girl! Damn! Let's go! But I feel bad for Kirie. I feel really bad for her. Jessica finally let out the breath that she had been holding down in her chest. Her normal human glint finally returned to her eyes, and then she couldn't help but shudder at what she'd done, even if it had been just a trial on the game board for the sake of her love.
悪魔どもこれでいいんだろう。
That was overkill, girl. I love it.
お見事です、ジェシカ。あなたの愛も本物だ。
Oh my god. I love how George is like, fuck, not bad. And Beato is like, do I have to burn someone like that too? George welcomed Jessica with a crisp applause. I don't think I've heard this track before, by the way. Beato timidly tried to join him, but but Jessica yelled at her and she stopped.
ゲーム版の上の話じゃないか。そこまで悲しむことじゃない。
理屈じゃ分かってる。でもだからって心の整理がつくわけがねえだろ。
And it's thundering even harder outside.
お嬢様。
Umineko, please. It's not Umineko day to day, please.
カノン君、私君のことが好き。諦められないよ。だから示したよ。私の気持ち。私間違ってないよね。間違ってないよね。
Oh man. Oh, poor Jessica. She didn't enjoy doing this at all. You know, that's actually a difference that I do like. George went full in, like he was fully himself. He went full unchained, mask off against his mom. And Jessica was very doll-like, right? She wasn't herself. And I like that she was fully detached because in a way she wasn't really prepared. But she still did it because she wanted to preserve with Kanon, right? So, oh man, Jessica. She's such a good girl. As Jessica started to sob, Kanon held her quietly. Aww, and he realized that he would have to carry on the determination she had shown him.
何も間違ってないさ。そして人の心を残し苦しむことも間違ってない。
I also like that George is showing understanding and that he is showing compassion. That's what I want to say. It's just I just happen to be a bit more stoic.
誰もがジョージ様の境地に至れるわけではありません。
Hello, is this Iakia? First of all, hi Barnaby-chan. No, this isn't the IKEA yet.
しかしどうあれ、お嬢様はとにもかくにも試練を成し
Oh, it's so
遂げられた。
unfortunate that it's almost time for me to finish streaming because I do want to see Kanon and Shannon duke it
お
out.
見事です。その決意の強さ、敬服します。
そういうことでジョージもジェシカも見事やり遂げたことは同じだ。あっぱれであったぞジェシカ。今の密室殺人、魔女のわらわも見惚れるなかなかのものであった。
Jessica had used magic to kill Kiria, who had holed up inside a closed room. In that instant, Jessica had constructed a closed room murder, had acknowledged it by the demons and raised it to the level of magic.
これで二人の試練が完了だわ。
さあ次は誰が挑戦を？
Good question.
ベアトリーチェ様かしら？
いやいやシャノンかもしれないよ。
ここはカノンの出番に違いないわ。
Oh, they're jumping around, both of them.
さあ名乗り出てほしい。次は誰？誰が試練を？
I would like to note as well.
魔女がゲーム版の殺人に臆してどうするというのか。奥手も過ぎれば恋を殺すぞ。
Oh, is she going next?
さあ次は
誰が恋の殺人を？
Oh, it's time for both of them, huh? Or no? The three who remained looked at each other. If none of the others raised their hands in the next few seconds, they would raise their own hand. All three thought this at the same time. Oh, it's just going to be a three-way fight. So they all raised their hands at the same time. The ones they loved had already shown their determination. They had to carry on. Oh, perfect timing. Perfect timing. I can save. I can save and wrap up the stream for today. And I have to change the thumbnail for this stream after I go offline, like tomorrow. It's going to take a few hours. And I'm going to grab this screen cap, this thumbnail for this stream, and I'm going to save it and I'm going to use it for the next time. Oh, Rosa. Hi, how you doing? Sorry I have to go. Save. Okay. Let's go back to the title screen. This was very, very perfect. Like, the timing couldn't be better. Alrighty then. Let me switch over to the just chatting portion so I can say a few things before I go offline. Okie dokie. Hold on. God, I didn't mean to hiccup right there. Okay. But we got things done. For tonight, I very much liked how well the timing worked for this stream. I think since this worked so well for me, if I do keep to more evening... Oh boy, I'm so low. I am so low. Wait. That's better. Okay. Where was I? Since it's... oh god, I blacked out for a second. What did I want to say again? Oh, there it is. There's the proper chat. Yes, well, what was I saying? So, I think 7:30 p.m. In my time zone works well for Umineko streams because it's only 30 minutes more, but it definitely helps more. And okay, in this case, I was actually well prepared before the stream, right? Because this Tuesday I streamed on YouTube, so basically everything was already set up. But in any case, I think I'm going to test the streams in different hours of the day, and they're probably going to be like guerrilla streams, not like planned streams. Or maybe yes, I don't know yet. But just so everybody knows, the schedule is up in the community post, and you know exactly my next streams. All next 3 streams on the schedule will be on my Twitch channel as usual. And after that, I will schedule another Umineko stream, and I think I'll schedule another art stream because I feel like it worked relatively well. Sure, the lack of my emotes is sad, but we are almost halfway through to going to a membership, so if I unlock memberships, maybe I'll make the full hard switch to YouTube. That said, different hours, I'll still think about it. I'll do like a little bit of research and see what hours is best for you. I think I'll even launch a poll on community or like a feedback community post. And if you guys see it, or if you guys see it here on the stream and would like to leave a comment on the VOD, then I will kindly ask you to write me when's the times in which you usually watch streams, or what would be your preferred time. I will try to collect all the times that I see, and I will try to like gauge what are potential hours that I could test for future streams, be it on Twitch or on YouTube. In any case, like I said at the start of the stream, I'm going to self-advertise myself very briefly again and say, hey, if you want to see more art and are aching for some Umineko art and the like, I am telling you to follow me on social media, alright? Because then you can see stuff like this. You are missing out if you are not following me on Twitter and Instagram. You want to see this. You want to see this shit. I know you guys do. You want to see more Mimi art and more Umineko art. And for that, I need more Umineko people in my Twitter and Instagram, you feel? So yeah, shout outs to my Twitter, which is pinned on the chat. I definitely recommend you guys to follow me there. And the other thing that I also showed at the start of the stream that I will show again for those who didn't see it is this. I made a side channel for shorts and clips and the like, and I will start posting all of them on this account for now. And I'll likely also post clip compilations and the like on said channel. Eventually, I think I'll change that channel's name to the actual channel, to my current channel name, and rename this one into Stream and Archive. Or like UPstar channel, like other VTubers do, right? So keep an eye out on both that and Twitter and Instagram if you want to see more stuff. And keep an eye out on the future community post where I will post, where I will ask you guys to tell me what hours are best for you for streaming. And you can also write it here in the comments of the VOD. That's also fine by me. I will do like a whole collection. And lastly, what did I want to say? Heck, I forgot. Oh yeah, and lastly, my next 3 streams are all on Twitch. So the next Umineko stream I'm going to assume is sometime in July. So sometime in July you will see the next scheduled streams for Art and Umineko. Alright? Without further ado, it's hot as shit and I have to go to bed. It's almost 10:30 p.m. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you had a good time. And I wish you all a good night, honeys. Bye bye!